Hey, what's going on, everybody? Good evening, actually. Kind of late, but roll with me. And also, make sure tomorrow to check out the Thinking Game podcast. Tomorrow is 6 p.m. as we go live. Me, Jay, and Peel. We talk about things that go on in the inner city, life literacy content, how to elevate, self improvement, all those good things. And today, I just want to talk about just got three topics. I don't want to be up too late because I have to go to bed as well. Now, when you're 41, you don't stay up late. When you're in your 40s, you kind of got to go to bed like around 9ish, 10ish, something like that. So, with that being said, let us get to the first topic.
You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Sheryl Swoopes is shading Caitlin Clark. Is she messing up the bag? It was rumor that she lost a job, a commentating job, because she wasn't spitting the wrong facts or stats or something like that. And they tried to get her to correct it. She didn't want to. Then she severed a relationship with Biederman. Is it Nancy Biederman? Lieberman, I think. Lieberman, something like that. But I told y'all some podcasts ago, women can be more brutal than men. They will cut you off quicker than men will. Men can argue and then go eat lunch and laugh about it. But when two women, it's like watching National Geographic sometimes. But I hope she figure it out. You never want anybody to mess up the bag, man. And when you throw shade at people, it's never worth it. It's never worth it. Some people they like you, but I'm saying it's never worth throwing shade at people. It's not worth it. Who has time? Like, if I got time to sit around and hate on somebody, how am I gonna be successful? If I'm thinking about, shading somebody else. Hope that's not true, but it's alleged that she was repeatedly doing it, and she could have messed up the bag. Unfortunate, because if she's bringing this much awareness to the WNBA, what's the big deal? People gonna throw different little angles and narratives into it, but it's not worth it. Throwing shade at people, hating is definitely not worth it. We all been there. Nobody's what am I trying to say? Nobody's above that. We all done, but I'm saying when you get older, you get more mature, you just realize it just ain't worth it. It's not worth the time. So shout out to Sheryl, shout out to Caitlin, shout out to Nancy Lieberman. I hope they work it out. Hope she can get the bag back. She will. She's Sheryl Swoopes. She good. She's royalty. Sometimes when when things get better, you trail the blade. You make the trail for another person to come down. You do. Sometimes some people get a little bit resentful because it's the easier path that they came down instead of blazing the path where you got to do all the work and the clearing and stuff. But it all works out for the good. You have to remember that it all works out for the good. It's not worth shading people. It's never worth that. So with that being said, second slide. Is Umar Johnson a political commentator now? Let me know in the comments.
You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Is he close to something? Or is it just clicks? Is it just clicks? Or is he trying to just stay relevant in social media? I know he called out D.L. Hughley. I know he called out Steve Harvey. I don't think you want those problems, man. Not only, I'm not saying they the most political people. I'm just saying, but they will roast you, especially D.L. Hughley. Steve Harvey will too. You know, but I hope that he get the school that he's been trying to open. I hope he get that together. I think that's gonna be a really good thing. But let me know in the comments. Do you think he's close to some with the political stuff he's been talking lately, or do you think he's just doing it for clicks, trying to stay relevant? You know, as far as getting people to stay on his channel. And think about social media, guys. Social media is not easy. You always have to be thinking about what's the next thing, what's trending, what wave can you surf, and do you want the drama? Some people want drama. I'm not that person. But I've been seeing him pop up a lot talking about politics, and I'm wondering, is he doing it? Is he close to something, or is he just doing it for the clicks? Let me know in the comments. Because
Blade, ready to die.
when you talking about politics, man, it gets so sketchy. Like, who really knows enough about politics unless you're in politics? Like, there are so many little angles and things that you don't know. It's kind of like you think about like a Ferrari or something. If you never been in a Ferrari, you never drove a Ferrari, all you do is just see it on TV. You don't really know. You only know what you see, but you don't have any really integral knowledge about it, or knowledge that's privy to people that's in politics. We can only go off of speeches and news reports, but you're not actually in that arena. And that's why I don't get caught up in a lot of this stuff to be on TV, because that's only what's allowed probably that you can get to. But if you're not plugged in with a real politician that can give you the real game of how things go, I don't know. I think just the average person just doesn't have the integral knowledge about common sense. Politics. And older people I grew up around say, speak on what you know. And when you think about that, how many of us really know about politics? How many of us really know? Let me know in the comments.
You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
So, I'm going to see if I can pull this up. A guy named Chosen London said that he's working 3 jobs and hate it. And I bet you he do. Let's watch the video first. I kind of want to watch it. I've seen a little bit of it here and there. But I kind of want to. Talk about it. Let's check it out real quick. Man, it's tough, man. Want to wish that on my worst enemy. All right, let's check it out.
Three jobs, and I definitely hate it. I'm just getting off of my first job, my 9 to 5 main job, right? That I feel like I hate it now because I feel like they trying to like set me up, to be honest. So I'm transitioning. My other job, my second job that I work is what I'm getting ready to do now. Give me one moment. I gotta get ready right now. My bad. I thought I was gonna be able to do both at the same time, getting this vest on, because I gotta be on time. But I do Amazon Flex, and also I do rideshare. I do Uber, And being able to help people out and deliver stuff is cool. I like it. It's a blessing to help people. I love to serve people, but I make money off tips, and people are not tipping. And I hate that aspect of it, because I'm doing this to provide for my wife, for my daughter, for myself, to be able to not need for anything, have all the bare necessities. And I hate having to go to work 3 jobs minimum, right? And I'm not even including the Amazon Flex work that I'm doing as a side of delivering packages. I hate that it's I'm constantly sweating, having to get in and out. The air don't stay.
Listen, I talk about this on the Thinking Game podcast. I'm going to say it again to my youth. When you graduate high school, I don't know this guy's situation. I'm not saying that what he's doing is wrong, but what I'm saying is you can be in a better position, because once you get into marriage and having kids, I'm telling you from experience, don't have an education or don't have a trade or some kind of technical certification or something, you'll find yourself in this kind of position. It's not fun. He telling you it's not fun. Let's keep watching.
Stay in a car. It's over 100 degrees. And it boils down to compensation, and why I hate it. Because we're not getting paid what we deserve. My main job, I make them millions of dollars a month over month. I make $1 million. I don't even get 1/1000th of that in pay wise to me to support my family. And a major part of me disclosing why I work 3 jobs and hate it, right, is to give you motivation that you need to work right to be able to survive, but don't spend all of your time just devoted inside of the workforce, right? You have to be able to keep developing yourself, because if not, you will find yourself working 3 or more jobs like me, working 3 jobs like me, not liking it, right? Majority of the time, because you want something bigger and better for your family. You have to stop putting all of your time into someone else's family's business, into someone else's creation. You have to put time into yourself. You have to invest into yourself.
He pretty much saying it too. He pretty much saying the same thing. You have to invest in yourself, invest in your self improvement, especially as a provider, as a man. You definitely have to always think about what's the next thing I can get better at. How can I increase my value? How can I increase my market value? What education can I get that's centered around my skill sets as a person, individual? You have to think about those things. Or, like you said, you'll be working 3 jobs. Not fun at all. And he said he works a 9 to 5. But I can tell you that the closer that I get to this bachelor's degree, the more the value goes up. I've been in IT already for over 10 years. I just needed a degree, and that's what I was missing. Every time I would go for a job, oh, you know what, we really would like you to have this job, but we're really missing the education. No problem. But what I'm telling you is, working 3 jobs ain't it, bro. It's not it. It's not the play, man. I worked 2 jobs before, and it
To
wasn't
be
a
able
play.
to grow. And that's one of the main reasons why I hate working 3 jobs, because of the time. I like to live on a life work balance. And when you work 3 jobs or more, it literally takes all the time away, right? I want to have more time with my daughter to spend. I want to be able to have vacations. I want to be able to enjoy life. But it's unfortunate because of the prices that it costs to live. And I feel like it's like, even I don't want to be in a hood, but even then stuff is expensive. So I have to work all these jobs. I have to put in the time. If I want, my bills not even caught up all the way yet. And I have to work these jobs and I hate it. Sometimes I want to be more on my own purpose, on my own journey. And that's why your why has to be good, to be able to know that it's a blessing to be able to work, right? And this is just a pit stop. This isn't gonna be the end goal.
Okay, let me stop this before I get dinged. I don't want to get dinged for it. I'm gonna close on this, right? So, if he could make a strategy to level up right now, basically on what he's doing, right? I would say this. I would look into an online college if and see what the options are. I mean, they literally got options now to where you can do one class every so many weeks or something. You do one class and move to the next class instead of like doing it semester by semester. There are trades out there that will pay you to work the trade and then come back to the academy and learn at the same time. There are vocations out there that you can do as well. So many options out there. You just gotta look. You gotta look for it. You gotta know what you want and look for it. Um, Work-life balance. A lot of times in the inner city, I gotta say this: living in the inner city, most young men. I'm not gonna say all. I'm gonna say about maybe 40, maybe even 50%, maybe 60. I don't know. It seems like 60%. They play around, or you just get caught in working, and by the time you realize that you in your 30s, you realize you behind the 8 ball and you trying to figure it out. If you, when you graduate high school, if you make a strategy in high school about what you can do when you graduate, the options that you have, and you execute on those options or looking into that career field you're trying to go into, you will have a better chance at having work-life balance. But I'm telling you from experience that if you don't do that, if you just go willy nilly and say, "Oh, I'll be all right. I can just work a regular job. I'll be straight," and don't get any kind of post education, you're gonna get to a point. You're gonna come to the intersection where it's just work and no balance. And even when you get to success of making some kind of money, it may not be as balanced as you think, especially as a provider, as a man. When you become successful, you get more in demand, and you're trying to make as much money as you can before you have to retire, or you don't know what's around the corner with your health. So a lot of people don't understand, like, when the getting's good, you got to get it while the getting's good, because you never know when circumstances change. As a provider, anyway, that's what I'm trying to say. As a provider mindset, most people that's successful, from what I'm seeing, man, they put in the work past 40 hours a week to grow money, to maintain money, and to do further research on how to handle their money, whether it's learning about tax codes and stuff like that. So success comes with a cost. That's what I'm trying to say. It comes with a cost. It's not a magic wand. It's not a light switch you can just turn on and you're successful. It takes a lot of work that you got to put in day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year. And if you don't put in the work and you don't get it done, you can't expect to be at a certain place. It just don't work like that in life. Life is work. It's not you only add more responsibilities. You don't take away as you become an adult. You never take away responsibility. You only add more. And it's all about how you look at it. I'm either gonna execute and handle my business, or I'm gonna sit back and pout about it and let the business handle me. And I've always been a person, I'm going to handle my business. It's up to you what person you want to be. But don't fall for the Walt Disney book, people saying work-life balance, because that's not always, depending on the circumstances that you're in, that's not always a viable option. Sometimes you got to grind, and it may be for a couple of years. You may not have the balance that you want. You got to get it done for a couple of years. And then once you get to the end game, now you can start having the balance because you can afford to have the balance. But if you can't afford to have the balance, guess what you got to do? You got to work. Just how it go. Most guys, they go to school for medical school, even law school. Man, you got to get a bachelor's degree plus another 3 or 4 years a master's degree or a JD or something like that. But once you get all that done and you get into your field and you start to get more established, now you can start getting that balance. They're working like, because you can afford it. You can go on a trip, have your bills paid, and pay for the trip, and come back home and still have money left over. Have money to do stuff you need to do when you get back home. But when you don't have that, you got to grind. You got to figure out how to get there in an efficient way. Because when you're working 3 jobs and it's not getting you ahead, it's just keeping you sustained, that's a tough lifestyle. Sometimes you got to scale back the lifestyle too. Live below your means. Not easy to do, but if you do it, you'll be surprised at how much money you can save. Yeah, you just got to be creative and flexible in your thinking. You can get it done. But there is a strategy that he could use to level up. It's just, do you want to do it or not? Because I've been in this situation. Was a married kid on the way. I was working at the airport. Was going to Pulaski Tech for Cisco networking, computer information systems networking. Grinded out to school. Right before I graduated, found a job working at the ISP place as a contractor, making like $30 an hour. Never made that much money in my life. $30 an hour. I went from making probably $12 to $13 to $30 an hour. It wasn't overnight, but I had the skill. I had the communication piece. I had the skill set piece, and the education was almost done with it. So I was prepared for the opportunity when it came. And I had the key to unlock that door. And that's what I'm saying. You got to make a strategy, though. Sometimes you got to write it down. You ain't going to remember everything. Sometimes you got to write it down. But there is a strategy to be had. He can level up. It's all about do you want to do it. So with that being said, this is Mike. I'm signing out. Thanks for watching. And make sure to check out the Thinking Game tomorrow at 6, going live.